What unfolds when a living legend, one of the most iconic voices and fiercest personalities in entertainment, steps onto a daytime stage and refuses to play by the rules? What happens when a show built on heated debates finally meets someone who brings a fire so bright it blinds the hosts themselves? Today, we dive into the moment Cher walked onto The View and left the set in a storm that daytime TV is still recovering from. Before we go deeper, hit that subscribe button to join Voice today. And don't forget to like and comment because this story, you're going to have opinions. The studio lights were already running hot that morning. Even the audience sensed it. Something buzzing in the air, something unspoken, something coiled. Producers whispered faster than usual. Camera operators kept adjusting their angles, and the hosts, Whoopi, Joy, Sunny, Sarah, sat with that practiced calm that only barely covered the tension beneath. The show teased a major guest all week, and though viewers assumed it would be promotional fluff, the word backstage was different. Cher wasn't coming just to talk. She was coming to unload. As the theme music faded and applause swelled, Whoopi gave that familiar smile, the settled confidence of someone who's seen it all. But even she didn't fully know what was about to hit. Please welcome the one and only Cher. The room exploded. People stood, cheered, waved signs, phones high in the air. Cher walked out in a fitted black jacket with metallic threading that caught every bit of light, her hair like a cascade of midnight. She moved with that unmistakable, almost regal calm, but there was a sharpness in her eyes, a tension in her jaw. She wasn't here for small talk. She reached the table, waved at the screaming fans, then sat down without waiting for the host's usual intro chatter. That was the first sign. Joy leaned forward, smiling like she always does when she's about to stir something. Cher, honey, you look incredible. What's the secret? You drinking unicorn blood? What is it? Cher didn't laugh, not even a grin. She just looked at Joy like the question bounced off her armor. Joy, the secret is minding my business and not letting people tell me how to live. The audience laughed, soft at first, unsure if it was a joke. Cher didn't laugh with them. Whoopi cleared her throat, shifting her posture. Well, we are glad you're here. You've got a new project. No, Cher cut in. I'm not here to talk about the project. The audience murmured, a low wave, surprised and electric. Sarah blinked. Okay, so what are you here to talk about? Cher tapped the table once deliberately. I am here to talk about the way this show and shows like this treat people. How you twist words, how you act like you're helping when you're really just stirring chaos. Joy crossed her arms. Okay, now hold on. No, Cher repeated, her tone unwavering. I'm speaking. The audience gasped. Whoopi leaned back, eyebrows raised. Sunny adjusted her card notes, her voice careful. Cher, if there's something specific you felt we handled unfairly, we're open to hearing that. But to say the entire show— Oh, please, Cher said, turning her gaze her way. I seen you tear people apart for having opinions you don't like. I seen you talk over guests, ambush them with segments, pretend to be neutral when you're really not. Joy scoffed. You say that like you're not the queen of strong opinions. Cher's head turned slowly. Difference is, Joy, I own mine. I don't hide behind a table. The atmosphere thunked like a dropped weight. A few audience members clapped. Odds scattered. Others whispered frantically. Phones subtly raised, even though recording wasn't allowed. Whoopi straightened. Cher, let's take a breath here. Nobody's hiding behind anything. We're doing a show. A show you agreed to be on, Cher corrected. Not to play nice. Sunny leaned in. And what does playing nice mean to you? Cher exhaled through her nose, a slow, simmering breath. It means not addressing the way this place handles the truth, the way you spin narratives, the way you throw people under the bus for ratings. Joy didn't let that sit. We're a talk show, Cher. We talk. You don't like what we say your piece. Nobody's silencing you. You're trying, Cher replied, staring her down. Whoopi's voice sharpened. Nobody's trying to silence you. Cher didn't blink. You just did. The energy shifted again, like the room itself sucked in air. Camera 3 zoomed in instinctively, catching Cher's fiery expression. Producers behind the glass pressed closer to their monitors. Something was happening, something they couldn't stop. Okay, Sarah said, laughing nervously. Let's all relax before Twitter takes this clip and turns it into World War II. It already will, Cher replied, because people are tired of fake conversations, tired of shows pretending to be the voice of the people when all you're doing is pushing whatever you're told to push. Joy leaned back with a smirk. Oh my God, here we go with the conspiracy stuff. Cher turned and placed both hands on the table, her posture suddenly commanding enough to quiet even the audience. Joy, you're funny. You've been funny your whole career. But don't mock me. Not about this. Joy stopped smiling. Cher continued. You think I don't know how networks work? I've been in this industry longer than you've been hosting anything. Whoa, Sarah whispered under her breath. Sunny interjected cautiously. Cher, if you feel the industry manipulates voices, not the industry, this show. Cher tapped the table again. This one. Whoopi lifted a hand. Okay, stop. We're not doing this. We brought you here as a guest, not as someone attacking the staff or the cast. There's a line. And who drew that line? Cher asked. You? Yeah, Whoopi answered flatly. Me. And I'm telling you, you're crossing it. Cher let out a low chuckle, cold, disbelieving. You think I care about your line? I'm Cher. The audience roared. Not fully cheering, not fully jeering, just reacting, shocked, drawn in. Joy finally leaned forward, face stern. Then why are you here? If you hate the show so much, why come? Because sometimes, Cher said, the only way to fix something is to call it out in front of everyone. Sunny tried to soften the moment. Cher, we respect you. We admire your career. Oh, don't do that, Cher snapped. Don't butter me up right after calling me dramatic behind the scenes. Every host froze. Sarah's mouth dropped open. Who said that? Cher turned her head slowly. You did? The audience erupted. Screams, gasps, chaos. Sarah's face reddened instantly. That's not true. I said this segment might get dramatic, not you. Cher cut her off. Own it. Whoopi stepped in again, voice raised. Enough, Cher. Look, if there was miscommunication backstage, there wasn't, Cher said sharply. There was disrespect. The studio's temperature felt 5 degrees hotter. Even through the broadcast feed, viewers would later say they felt their hearts pounding. Joy shook her head. This is unbelievable. Cher leaned closer. What's unbelievable? Is pretending you're the victims when you invited me. You wanted fireworks. Here they are. Nobody wanted fireworks, Whoopi snapped. We wanted a conversation. Well, Cher said, standing up slightly in her seat, you should have picked someone who wouldn't tell the truth. The audience whispers grew frantic. Sunny raised both hands. Cher, please sit down. We're live. Cher pushed her chair back. Just a few inches, but enough to make every host stiffen. Good, she said. Let them see. Joy looked to the producers, muttering, we need to go to commercial. But Cher wasn't finished. You invited me to talk about my career, my life, my music, but what you really wanted was a soundbite, something to twist, something to fuel your cycle. That's not fair, Sunny said. It's accurate, Cher shot back. Whoopi leaned forward, voice hard, unwavering. Cher, if you're going to accuse us of something, you better come with specifics. Cher didn't hesitate. 2 weeks ago, you ran a segment about my comments on the industry. You cut half of what I said. You made it look like I was attacking young artists. I wasn't. Joy immediately responded. We showed the clip you gave us. No, Cher said, voice rising. You showed the clip you wanted. The audience gasped again. Whoopi looked toward the camera, her professionalism cracking. We're taking a break. No, Cher said, and this time she stood fully. The room erupted. Several audience members jumped up, yelling. Some clapped, some booed, some shouted, let her talk. It was total chaos. Cher pointing at the hosts, her voice carrying like thunder. I'm tired of the spin. I'm tired of the fake smiles. I'm tired of pretending that this table represents real conversation. It doesn't. Not anymore. Sarah stood too. Hands out. Cher, this is not the place to, this is exactly the place. Joy yelled over the noise. Then say what you came to say. Cher took a final breath. Deep, controlled, furious. You've turned conversation into combat. You've turned opinions into weapons. And you've turned the show into a circus where honesty goes to die. The crowd erupted again. Whoopi stood up, signaling to producers, cut to break, cut to break. But the cameras kept rolling, for several more seconds, capturing Cher turning away from the table, jaw tight, fists clenched, eyes blazing. The moment was raw, unfiltered, volcanic, and it was only the beginning. The screen went black far too late. Producers scrambled